Good morning to everyone watching. This is the Gain and Retain podcast. I'm your host, Justin Craven, and today we had the pleasure of speaking with Corey Johnson, also known as Superb the Barber. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. Appreciate you, man.
For sure, man. It's good to have you here with us, man. My main objective is to educate and motivate aspiring barbers, beauticians, makeup artists getting ready to enter into the industry. We're trying to motivate them on how to gain clientele and how to retain it at the same time, because there's a lot of people that get into the industry, but they're not successful because they're not able to build clientele. You know what I mean? So we want to kind of talk with you about how did you get started and what's some of the things that you did to kind of, get the ball rolling for you.
Man, I started out cutting my own hair years ago. I was like 15, 16 years old. And long story short, I got tired of waiting all weekend in the shop trying to get a haircut. So just started cutting my own hair and just kind of rolled from there.
Okay.
And in 2015, I ended up going to barber school. And it's been a blessing ever since.
Really? So you were your own guinea pig. You cut your own hair before you cut anyone else's hair.
Everything I learned how to do with clippers or a razor, I learned on my own head first.
Really? Yeah. Really? So what was the first style that you cut on your head?
Just all even. Same haircut I got right now. Okay. All even and tape.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple. You was able to taper the back also? Or you? Okay. So
thank
you
God
working with two mirrors.
Thank God there wasn't no cameras back then, camera phones. I probably wasn't doing as good of a job as I thought I would.
Okay. That's cool. So were you able to eventually start to cut friends and family also?
Right.
Okay. So that was at 15. Then you say 2015, you made a transition. You was able to go to school?
Yeah.
Okay. What school did you attend?
I went to Arkansas College of Barber and Hair Design in North Little Rock.
Okay. How long did it take you to finish it up?
I was going part-time. I was working during the day. I was coming to school around 4:30 and staying till 9:30, 10 o'clock. And I ended up finishing in like 13 months. 13
months, okay. So for a night student, that's about average.
Right.
That's about average. I know it could take you anywhere from 8 months to a year. That's if you full time. Yeah, it's some students out here, they go a full 2 years. Yeah. And that's kind of crazy to me. I don't know. What you think?
That's long.
Yeah. Just to get 1,500 hours, it shouldn't take that. So you was pretty serious during school, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Were you able to build your clientele during school?
I had school clients. Okay. I had people that would only wait for me to cut their hair when they knew I was gonna be there.
Right.
When I left school, I maybe took 3 clients from there that I still have now.
Okay. I wanna tune in on that a little bit more too, man. I don't want the upcoming barbers and beauticians getting ready to enter into the industry thinking that the clients that you have at school are gonna follow you, because it's a big chance that they won't. Like the clients that you have at the school that you attend, they belong to that school.
Exactly. Most of them been going there for years, and they used to paying that $5 and getting a nice cut.
Exactly.
When you leave the shop and you go up to 15 or 20, 25, they not gonna be with it. Most of them won't.
You might as well forget about it.
Right.
Really. Okay. So once you did graduate from Barber College, were you able to make a transition right into a shop?
Yeah. The day I passed board, the next day I went to my job and I gave my 2-week notice.
Wow.
It was over.
Wow. That's big. I want to definitely tap in on that. So you were able to make a transition from school into a shop and give your job 2 weeks notice. Right. Well, you was a full-time barber after that.
Right.
So your only source of income was coming from clippers.
Right.
Okay. So how was that, man? Was that a little bit? Was it challenging? Was it a little scary? Or?
It was a little scary, but I knew at the time of what a job was paying me, I knew I could get it with my own 2 hands. Like I couldn't do no worse than that.
Okay. So starting out, and not to go too far off in the details, like what was your beginning salary back then? So it's around 2016 in the shop. What was your salary then? We in 2020 now, y'all. So y'all,
well, I'll say this: the first week in the shop, I made $500, which was good.
Yeah, definitely.
That's good for a brand new barber to come in. First week, you make $500, and then it just start kind of climbing from there. And then I started going to Stuttgart one day a week. Actually, at that time, it was 2 days a week.
Okay.
I would go to Stuttgart on Thursdays and Saturdays.
Okay, let me clarify real quick. Stuttgart, that's your hometown, right?
Right.
So you were maintaining 2 locations.
Right.
Okay, continue. Go ahead.
So I was going there, and I started getting that income as well. So mine climbed quickly because I was working out of 2 different spaces.
Right. Okay. Because I just know, man, that's the most terrifying part of entering to the self-employment, world. It's like going from a for sure amount of money bi-weekly or every week. It's like if you go clock in at Caterpillar or Walmart, what have you, they're gonna pay you X amount of dollars each week. Versus you work in a shop and it's like, hey man, I might make $200 a week. I might make $2,000. Excuse me.
And
you know what I mean?
You don't have benefits. You ain't got no vacation, no sick days, none of that. So
if you wake up with the flu, you don't get paid.
Get paid till you get back in there.
Yeah. So I think that kind of discourage a lot of people, man, about entering into this industry because nothing's for certain.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then it's kind of like, I don't know, like, let's just be honest. The month of, December, somewhere in there, like, you got the Christmas portion of the month, you gonna make bukus of money.
Yeah.
Then you got your slower months, like in the summertime when these kids ain't going to school.
Exactly.
You gotta prepare for that.
Right.
Yeah. So what were some of the techniques you used, Superb, to build your clientele in the beginning?
So the first thing I did when I got out of school, I went and got 1,000 business cards made. So
okay.
I started out doing that hand to hand.
Okay.
I would go to Baptist Hospital.
Okay.
I go to Walmart. I go to the mall.
Okay.
Wherever people were gonna be, that's where I was at.
Shaking hands.
Right. Now what I found from that was most of the time when you hand somebody a business card, it's gonna get lost.
Straight up.
Or they're gonna throw it away. Whatever the case may be.
Right.
On top of that, it's hard to make somebody leave their barber.
It's true story.
It's real hard.
It is.
So I didn't feel like I was seeing a return from that. So I went out and I bought me a Canon, a real professional camera.
Okay.
And I started got on Instagram. I went on Instagram at that time. I stayed off social media for 5 whole years, matter of fact, before I started cutting hair. That's the only reason I got back on Facebook and Instagram was because I needed to promote myself.
Straight up, marketing.
So I bought that camera, bought me a lens, started taking more professional, clean pictures. And that's the thing, your clean work is going to bring people to you.
Preach.
So, and I started posting that, and then that's when people started inboxing me, hitting me up. I made the Superb Styles page, the business page on Facebook. People started hitting me on there, and it was up from there.
Okay. So that was a huge contribution to your success. You was marketing yourself the right way with nice, clean photos.
Right.
Because you see a lot of times people will post their work, but it's not the best photo.
Right. You got a stove in the background, and
right.
Plates, and like that's not what people want to see. They want to see nice, clean, professional backgrounds and clean work.
Professional, exactly. Some of these pictures they're not even draped properly.
Right,
you know what I mean?
No,
like,
no neck strip or
none of that.
It's crazy.
So I like that, man. So you invested in yourself, and that's a big deal, man. Right. You got to spend money to make money.
Exactly.
Okay. So the flyers weren't cutting it. We went bought a camera.
Now I still have business cards and flyers that I hand out every once in a while. But most of the time, people will say, "So you got a card?" Now, if somebody says, "Do you have a card?"
Right.
and you hand it to them, they're gonna keep that.
Right.
It's not gonna be the one they lose or throw away, or they're gonna remember, "Oh, his number was." Or the name, or they'll be able to look you up from that point.
Exactly.
But if you just out networking and you hand somebody a card, they're gonna hop in the car and throw it in the cup holder and probably won't ever see it again.
Exactly.
That's what I saw from handing out business cards.
Right. Because a lot of times, man, if like you said though, it's hard to make someone leave a barber or a beautician. That's a fact. Because like they establish a bond, and the relationship is kind of hard to break.
Right.
Especially if the professional barber they dealing with is handling business. Mm-hmm. It's hard to break them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then if a person ain't in the market for a haircut or a barber, it's like that card, it was useless.
Right.
It's just like, oh man, I'm gonna throw this to the side. Yeah. Okay. So once you did get the clientele. It was building up. What were some of the techniques you used to maintain them and keep them coming back to only want Superb to cut their hair?
So I knew my lane was gonna be my service and my professionalism. Some guys, their designs that's their lane, or cutting straight hair, that's their lane.
Right.
My lane was gonna be my service, my professionalism. So it's gonna be a nice, safe environment. It's clean in here. I'm gonna give you complimentary water, sodas.
Right.
I'm gonna shampoo you. Now let's speak on that. I did not know any barber shampooing their clients before the cut at all.
Right. That's a big deal.
That I know of. Now some may, Dr. J, Will, Arlo, some of them may have been doing it. I'm not 100% sure, but nobody was shampooing every client before the cut. So I implemented it.
Straight up.
So all my clients get a pre-shampoo before they get their haircut service.
Right. And you'd be surprised how many male clients have never had their hair shampooed.
Right. And been to the same barber for 20, 25 years. But the barbers never shampooed their hair one time. So
exactly.
I implemented the pre-shampoo and the hot steam towels. Most people have never had that.
Right. Right.
Something so simple can mean so much.
It's the experience.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So really, really, really focusing in on a high level of customer service and really, really catering to the clients.
Exactly.
Most definitely. Most definitely. So you eventually made the transition from just booth rental to owning your own shop, correct?
Right.
Okay. How long you been in business for yourself now?
A little over 2 years.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know this, but me and you started off together. Yeah.
Straight up.
Started off together.
Yeah, my guy been maintaining and doing his thing, and it's steady blossoming, and guys working with him, and it's growing, and it's doing different things for him now.
It's
That's
a
what's
blessing.
up, for real. So, for someone getting ready to just come out of school, right? You've been on both sides of the tracks. You know what it's like to just do booth rental, and you know what it's like to own the shop now. What would you suggest someone fresh out of school? What would you recommend they do?
I think location is everything, and you got to find a shop that's gonna fit you as well. You don't want to be in an uncomfortable space when you're working every day. So you got to scout out different locations of where you think you're gonna fit it, and you got to find places that's also gonna have traffic, because the first shop I went to out of school, it was a nice shop. I loved it. It was clean, professional. Love the guys. We still talk to this day, but there was no foot traffic. So my clientele wasn't building as fast as I knew it could.
Right.
So after about 3 or 4 months, I went to another shop that was on a high traffic street. It was right off the road. And my clientele just started growing from there.
That's a big deal too. I want to touch bases on that. So, in the beginning, me and Corey were business partners on the shop, and it's a very secluded location, very, very professional, nice spot Corey got, but it's strictly for someone who already has clientele built up. Like, it's no chance that it's gonna be a walk-in. I'm gonna just be honest. Like, somebody might be lost and find the spot, but if you didn't,
ass happy.
Right. But if you didn't know where you were going, you're not gonna find that space. Right. So in the beginning, that wasn't right for me because I was still in the process of building clientele. So location is a big deal.
Now the thing with that is, when you called me and we went and looked at the spot, I knew then when we move in here, I'm gonna go 100% online booking appointments.
Right.
So I did that from jump, and it was a little shaky. People not used to that.
Right.
Even my clients, it was a little bit of adjustment to it, but it's worked out.
Right. And then that's another thing we can touch on too. Running your business off appointment only. Like, it makes it a lot more convenient for the professional as well as the customers.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it free up your day. You able to maneuver and do things you need to do.
Exactly. And as a client, who wants to come and sit and wait for 5 hours, 2 hours, 3 and 4 heads? Who wants to do that? So when my clients come in, that's also when you say, what did I do to retain my clientele? That's another thing. You walk in, you either sitting down or you next.
Right.
Within the next 5 minutes.
Right.
So that means a lot to the client.
Right. And another thing, what one thing Corey do is genius too. I need to kind of incorporate that in my setting. Like he has refreshments for you while you wait. Like, you know, your choice of beverage, waters, Gatorade.
Right.
Depending on your age, you might be able to have a strong drink. You know what I mean?
Get you a little sip.
Right. So he really accommodates his clients, man, and that's a big deal because it's the experience people paying for at the end of the day. So now we're in an age right now where social media kind of determines the trends. You know what I mean? Who's the top barber? Who's the top stylist? Like, do you really feel like social media is kind of giving professionals a crutch where they don't really do hard work anymore? They think they can just post and.
Yes and no, because this is the social media age where that's where people to go to find whatever they want. If they want the hottest restaurant, that's where they go. They want the hottest club, that's where they look.
Right.
They want the hottest outfit, shoes, where to buy, whatever, the swag, that's where they go. So that's the wave right now is social media. But
right.
At the same time, you know, you can be a not so good barber, but you cut a rapper or a well-known person, and people gonna follow that instead of following the good work too. So
Right.
it's like smoke and mirrors almost.
It is, man. Because that's what I'm trying to do. Like, you want to be able to distinguish what's authentic and then what's a facade.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's a lot of people that's, you know, Insta famous or Facebook, Snapchat famous, but they really not putting down good work in these shops. You know what I mean?
So much photoshopping and
man,
it's crazy.
It is. That was one barber was talking about it, older barber. He was like, yeah, man, they're giving these kids these nice haircuts, but when they get home, it's washing out their mama's pillows or something. He was saying it was crazy.
See, that's all in your process, because you got to be nice with the clippers before you use enhancements.
True story.
So, you know, you coming out here with the Beijing or vegan as
right, some refer
correctly pronounced.
Right.
You're doing the fibers and you're doing the airbrushing, and you know, if your fades ain't right, if your blends ain't tight, your lines ain't clean,
right,
what's all that for?
Man, it's a vanity, man. But at the end of the day, you know, the enhancement is an enhancement. It's supposed to enhance what you already laid down.
Right.
It's going to eventually wear off, right?
Exactly.
Right, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to wear off. And if you don't have a good foundation under that, the client going to feel like they got to advantage of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like my service. You come in and you get your hair shampooed. You get the steam towel that's gonna clean your face, clean the oils and the dirt off your face, clean your beard.
Mm-hmm.
And then you sit down, you get your cut, and then I'm gonna moisturize it. You know, I'm gonna put Sweet Jamila or whatever I have at the time.
Right.
I'm gonna do that. If you so desire enhancements, I'm gonna do that.
Right.
So you got a good 3 days that you can get out of that cut because your hair has been clean, it's been conditioned,
Right.
it's been moisturized,
Right.
it's cut.
Right.
So you shouldn't have to go do that when you get home, except maybe throw your rag on or whatever the case is.
Exactly.
And you should at least get 2 to 3 days out of them hands. But at that time, you should be washing your hair anyway.
Yeah, I hope so. But see, I like what the key word, what you use, if you desire an enhancement. You know what I mean? It's optional. You don't force enhancements on your clients.
Matter of fact, I don't do them unless they ask.
Okay. That's beautiful. It's in this day and time we in right now in the barber industry, it's like, I'm going to be honest with you. It's like you can tell that barber couldn't wait to put the enhancement on him. Like, that was like the joy of his life for that cut. Like, he couldn't wait to he couldn't wait to paint him. It wasn't about cutting him, it was about painting him. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they like kind of force it on their clients. All clients don't want that.
Right.
I got some older gentlemen that wouldn't have it. They don't. It's unheard of to them. I don't want that paint. You know, the old school talk bad about it.
Right.
They don't want that, man. So I don't know, man. It's kind of barbering is kind of taking a whole different turn, man. I think we kind of need to start to gravitate back towards the basics, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. That's a whole different subject. So right now at this point in your career, Superb the Barber, what you got coming up in the future? What's next for you?
Right now I'm trying to expand my barbershop and add stylists. So I'm prepping that right now, and I should be probably add 2 stylists within the next couple of months, and hopefully I can find the right team, the right fit, people I can trust. It's the professional that's worthy of being under Superb Styles brand.
That's beautiful, man. Congrats on that too, man. Expanding the brand, and that's another thing I want to chime in on. That's it's gonna actually add another stream of income to your business, because like in this industry, we can't stand behind the chairs forever.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we got to kind of have a exit route. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So besides just strictly cutting hair, what other streams of income or revenue would you recommend that barbers or stylists look to invest in, or take a part of?
Making shirts, or you start trying to get into rental properties, or selling purses, or selling movies, or it's a lot of different hustles you can get into. Just kind of get you some side money.
Right. Because like we both know that the haircut money or the hairstyle money is not guaranteed. It's not. It's like you might have an awesome week, then you might have a slow week. But if you got, like you said, if you have shirts, or you might have a product line,
exactly,
whatever. If you got those other streams, that kind of make up the difference on them slow weeks or slow months. It's like, I didn't do X amount of heads, but I sold a ton of product this month. You know what I mean?
Right.
So kind of got to be versatile, man, because ain't nothing guaranteed.
Right.
And I think that what kind of hurt people in the beginning, man. They didn't have no plan B or plan C, and they went full-fledged in the shop. So just looking at how many people you went through barber school with, your peers, colleagues, what have you, how many of them are performing at the level that you are?
When I think about it, I think I'm the only one that's full-time barbering. Most of them still work. I can't think of nobody offhand other than you, but I came out before you did.
You did. Yeah.
And then you was on days, I was on nights.
Right.
So, but as far as the night students that I went with, most of them still work and just kind of do it as a side hustle. I knew when I got out of school, I was finna do it for real.
Right. And that's a big deal, man. And that's the main purpose of this podcast, y'all, is to really get some genuine stories from people that's actually living this. Because like he just told you, he really can't name anybody that's doing it full time right now. You know what I mean? That's actually finished barber school or cosmetology school and able to do that full time without a side job. You know what I mean? Because people try to balance a job and a shop, and a lot of times that's going to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? People, they might go do it for a while and they're like, man, it wasn't making enough money. I got kids, I got bills.
Right.
I had to go back to work.
Right.
How many times you done heard that story?
A lot.
A lot, for real. And like my graduating class, or the ones I went through with, I can think of one for sure. I know he doing it full time. Troy Dixon, he doing it. Like, that's what he do. He cut hair. But I mean, man, it was a dozen of us. You know what I mean? And I ain't no cap. I can't name too many that's doing it.
Right.
I mean, it's scary out there. So like, what words of wisdom and encouragement would you give the upcoming professionals? What should they be doing right now while they still in school?
Keep getting your reps in, honing your craft, figuring out what your lane is going to be. Stay professional. Be timely. Nobody want to get a haircut for an hour and a half. Be timely. 30 to 40 minutes, you should be getting up out of there or less.
Right.
And start looking at where you want to be or what you want to do within this industry, because this is what's the number on it? It's a $1 billion industry. You can do whatever you want to do. Product line, or make wigs, units, whatever you want to do in this industry, you can do it. But you need to start figuring out and researching and learning what you want to do within this industry.
True story. Like my brother said, find your lane. He specializes in, he take pride in his professionalism.
Right.
Like he said, it might be some that they specialize in designs or straight hair. Like, everybody got something that they know their strengths. You gotta know what your strength is and capitalize on it and take off with it, because it'll take you far.
Right.
Yeah. So why they in school kind of start to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
And would you recommend like starting to kind of visit different shops and seeing which ones fit their personality?
Yeah, I would go in there as a client. As a matter of fact, just go sit down, check it out.
Right.
See who you got next. Just watch how they interact with each other. Watch how they interact with the clients. You know, pay attention to how long you had to wait.
Right. It makes sense. It makes sense. And then, like, if you visiting just as a client, you know what I mean? It's no facade, you know.
Right.
It's nobody pretending like this how it is on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of see if they got the right energy for you, man. Because a lot of times you can end up in a shop that it just don't. The chemistry ain't there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ain't comfortable, it's hard to work somewhere you ain't comfortable.
Exactly.
For real. Okay, man. Well, any give them your social media, man. Where can they contact Superb the Barber?
Okay, on Facebook, it's just simply Superb. That's my main page. Or Superb Styles Barber Lounge. That's my business page on Facebook. On Instagram, it's Superb_Styles with a Z.
All right. That's what's up, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. I appreciate you for coming through, my guy.
Appreciate the opportunity, man.
For
Thank you.
sure, man. Thank you. For sure.